My Korean teacher begins by showing a young man named Young-Ung, the only child of the CEO of a large company in South Korea. Despite living in a wealthy family and being the only heir to his father's company, Young-Ung chose to live independently and settled in the city of Tokyo in Japan. He works as a sales agent for a ginseng-based food product. That day, Young-Ung was called by the head of the company to talk about Young-Ung's work contract, which was almost over. The chairman said they could not renew Young-Ung's contract because the company's financial condition was bad and its profits were dropping drastically. Hearing this, Young-Ung couldn't do anything and could only accept his fate. After coming home from work from his office, Young-Ung meets his girlfriend at her apartment, hoping that she can restore his spirits and comfort him in these difficult times. Unfortunately, instead of getting encouragement from his girlfriend, Young-Ung finds her having an affair with another man. Seeing this, Young-Ung felt very angry and disappointed because his girlfriend had betrayed him and chose to go with another man who was richer than him. It seems that Young-Ung's girlfriend doesn't know that Young-Ung is a rich man and the sole heir of a big company in Korea. All the events that happened to Young-Ung that day really frustrated him. In the evening, Young-Ung decided to contact his parents in Korea through a video call. He wants to let go of his longing for his parents and wants to know their health condition. Young-Ung's mother really wants Young-Ung to return to Korea so he can continue his father's company business. However, Young-Ung is still not ready to accept the big responsibility from his father, so he chooses to stay in Japan, even though his current condition is very difficult. The next day, Young-Ung meets a client and carries out his job as a sales agent, which will end in 1 month. However, when Young-Ung was about to return to the office, his leadership suddenly contacted Young-Ung and asked him not to come to the company because his company was suspected of using fake ginseng as an ingredient in their products. After that, Young-Ung went to Okinawa and contacted his girlfriend to make up. Unfortunately, he has to get disappointed because his girlfriend has ended their relationship for the sake of a richer affair. Young-Ung sat on a park bench and grumbled in Korean to release all his frustration and annoyance. He even accidentally threw his cell phone into the garden yard while nagging. When Young-Ung was looking for his cell phone, a husband and wife came to him and helped him find his cell phone. They were Kawamoto and Sayuri. Both of them understand a little Korean, so they bring Young-Ung to drink together at a bar and listen to his complaints. They feel sorry for his misfortune and decide to help Young-Ung by offering him a job as a Korean language teacher. It turns out that Kawamoto and Sayuri have a foreign language course business and need a substitute teacher to teach Korean. Hearing the offer, Young-Ung accepted it because he needed a job to make ends meet. On the first day of teaching, Young-Ung still looked awkward and stiff because he had never been a teacher and didn't have much experience speaking in front of many people. He often feels nervous in front of a female student who stares at him sharply. The female student is a single mom named Sakura, who already has a 7-year-old child. Sakura took a Korean language course because of the demands of a job as a tour guide which required her to be fluent in Korean. This is because, during a job interview, Sakura confessed that she was very interested in Korean culture and understood a bit of Korean. She is the only student of Young-Ung who studies seriously and always pays attention to his lessons. Sakura must study hard to be appointed as a permanent employee at her company because currently, her status is still an intern. She did all that to be able to support her grandmother and son, who had now started school. The two of them are the only family she has at this time because the father of Sakura's child has left her and her child. When going to work by train, Sakura always trains Korean vocabulary so that she can master Korean faster. That day, Sakura received information from her company manager that a Korean travel company would soon visit and cooperate with them. Meanwhile, Young-Ung seems to be starting to adapt to his new job as a language teacher. He is no longer nervous or clumsy and intends to improve his teaching skills. He becomes more enthusiastic after he finds Sakura, one of his students who is very persistent in studying and always pays attention to his lessons. The next day, Sakura was asked by her manager to translate an email sent by a travel company from Seoul. All night Sakura was awake and trying to translate the email, but she was still having trouble translating it. So the next day, Sakura met Young-Ung and asked for his help translating the email. After that, she asked him to give her extra weekend lessons so she could master Korean faster. In the evening, Young-Ung told Kawamoto and Sayuri about it. Kawamoto allows Young-Un to give Sakura private classes so that he can help her achieve her goals. This extra class can be an opportunity for Young-Un to get closer to Sakura. It seems that he already knows she is currently single and has not been in a relationship with anyone else. Young-Un seems to be starting to show an interest in Sakura, so he always pays attention to his appearance when he meets her. That day, Sakura and Young-Un did practice speaking in Korean. Sakura will act as a tour guide who explains tourist sites in Korean, and Young-Un will correct her if there is a wrong vocabulary. Their closeness became even more apparent when they were having lunch together and talking to each other. Young-Un occasionally makes jokes to make Sakura laugh. After that, Sakura and Young-Un went downtown and visited a market. While at the market, Young-Un coincidentally chose the same shirt as Sakura's, which is a t-shirt with an adorable rabbit picture. They decided to buy the shirt. At the same time, Sakura suddenly received a call that her son still hadn't come home from school and his grandmother couldn't pick him up because her leg was injured. Hearing this, Young-Un immediately took Sakura and helped her find the whereabouts of Sakura's child. After searching for some time, Young-Un finally found Sakura's child, and Sakura was very grateful to Young-Un. While going to the bus stop, Young-Un asked Sakura about the father of her child. Sakura replied that she was pregnant at the age of 20 and that her boyfriend suddenly disappeared a few months before the birth of her child. To this day, Sakura's son, Kei, still doesn't know who his father is and has never met him. Since that day, Young-Un has volunteered to pick up Kei whenever he comes home from school because Young-Un's teaching schedule is more flexible than Sakura's office schedule. Young-Un and Kei are getting closer, and their relationship is like father and son. As time went on, Young-Un began to experience improvement in his teaching skills. He found many easier and more efficient learning techniques to be able to master Korean quickly. Young-Un still continues to give extra classes to Sakura, so he often comes to Sakura's house and meets Kei. They often play ball together in their free time and enjoy their company happily. On the following night, Young-Un was called again by his mother to immediately return to Korea and replace his father's position as chairman of the company. But Young-Un again refused and said he was still not ready to return there. Without Young-Un knowing, Young-Un's father is seriously ill and his life is not long, but Young-Un's father chooses to keep it a secret from his son. A few days later, Young-Un found a new method to motivate his students to study harder. Inspired by his childhood memories of always getting stickers at school, Young-Un decided to make cute bunny stickers and give them to each of his students who got good grades on exams. A few days later, Sakura's leader returned to Sakura and asked her to prepare herself because a travel company representative from South Korea would arrive in a few days. Although Sakura has progressed in Korean language skills, she is still nervous and not proficient. That night, Young-Un, Kawamoto, and Sayuri drank together at the bar while talking about Sakura. They felt guilty for Sakura for not being able to help her any better. Shortly after, the bartender at the club came and showed them a special remote communication device that could be used to assist Sakura in her meeting with clients later. This tool will help Young-Un to be able to hear the conversation between Sakura and her client so that he can direct her to give the right answer or response. On the day of the meeting, Sakura put the receiver to her ear, while Young-Un and the others waited in the car less than 1 mile away so they could hear their conversation. The meeting went smoothly, and the client seemed satisfied with Sakura's answer. Sakura was then asked to accompany her client to tour the city and have lunch together. Everything went normally and smoothly, but the client suddenly said that Sakura was similar to his first love. The man invited her to have dinner and drink together. Young-Un, who heard this, quickly directed Sakura to refuse the invitation. He seems jealous of the closeness between Sakura and the man. After that, the man invited Sakura to return to his hotel room to retrieve the documents still left there. Sakura was innocently willing to accompany him and come into his room. But after arriving at his room, the man took a bottle of wine instead of taking the documents and started teasing Sakura. He even brought his body closer and groped Sakura's body. Sakura, realizing he was about to hurt her, immediately ran towards the hotel room door. But the man immediately grabbed her and pushed her towards the bed. Hearing Sakura's screams, Young-Un realized that Sakura was in danger. He immediately ran out of the car and got into the hotel. After successfully finding the room, Young-Un tried to distract the perverted man so that Sakura could hit the man's head with a vase. Young-Un finally saved Sakura, who was almost harassed by the perverted man. The next day, the head of Sakura's company met Sakura and asked her about what had happened yesterday because their client had cancelled the cooperation contract with their company and had returned to Korea. Sakura told him everything had happened at the hotel yesterday. After knowing that, Sakura's leadership praised and appreciated all of Sakura's hard work so far. Therefore, Sakura's manager decided to appoint Sakura as a permanent employee at the company. That night, Sakura, Young-Ung, and the others celebrated Sakura's success by having dinner and singing together. After the party was over, Young-Ung took Sakura home. That night, Young-Ung asked Sakura if they could meet again even though their classes had ended. Sakura smiled and allowed it. It seems like she is starting to have feelings for him. When Young-Ung and Sakura were about to kiss, Sakura's grandmother suddenly appeared and said that Sakura's ex-boyfriend, Suichi, had returned. When Suichi saw Sakura, he immediately knelt before her and apologized. Suichi confessed that he previously left her because he avoided debt collectors and didn't want to burden her. Young-Ung's heart broke when he saw Suichi hugging Sakura in front of him. Young-Ung then told Kawamoto and Sayuri that it was very likely that Suichi and Sakura would get back together. After all, Suichi is Kei's father, so their relationship will quickly improve. In the middle of the conversation, Young-Ung's mother suddenly called Young-Ung and informed him that his father was currently in the hospital in critical condition. Hearing this, Young-Ung felt very anxious and immediately rushed back to Korea. After arriving at the hospital, Young-Ung's mother explained that Young-Ung's father had been sick for the past year, but he forbade her to tell Young-Ung about it. Young-Ung's father doesn't want to make Young-Ung worry and respects his decision to choose his own path in life. However, now Young-Ung must be willing to replace his father to run his father's company business because his father can no longer lead the company. 3 years later, Young-Ung accidentally reunites with Sakura in a hotel lobby while she is having a meeting with a corporate client. They decided to drink coffee together and talk together. They ask each other how they are and talk about their respective lives. In that conversation, Young-Ung finally finds out that Sakura is not back with her boyfriend and is still single. Sakura and Kei could not accept Suichi back and decided to end their relationship. Shortly after, Sakura accidentally dropped the sticker that Young-Ung had given her. Looks like she still has feelings for him. The film closes with Young-Ung and Sakura looking at each other and smiling. The moral that can be learned from this movie is about persistence in learning to achieve the goals we dream of.